What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly home of Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, we are talking about a win against the Charlotte Hornets, the depleted Charlotte Hornets at that. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Diamond spiking, let's go more. He that MVP.
Well, I must say that was a good palate cleanser for the 4-game road trip. A nice, easy victory at the home arena where no time was that game in doubt. The Grizzlies came out as a team and took care of business, and you could tell by the pregame warm-ups that they were very, very jacked up for this game, excited to be at home. I think they know it's getting closer and closer to the time where they're going to get Jaren and Zaire back, and the team is going to be totally healthy and ready to make the run. The team moves to 5-3 on the season, 5-3 without Jaren Jackson and Zaire Williams, 5-3 with having just 4? No, it's 6. How many? I think it's 6. They've had 6 road games. 4-game road trips, and then the 2 games they had in Houston and Dallas. Had 6 games on the road and 2 games at home. Still 5-3. 5-3 with Ja missing a game, Desmond missing a game. So it's been a very good start to this season, to say the least. Like I said, anything above 500 with Jaren Jackson out is good money for me. I don't care about anything else. I'm not expecting them to go on no crazy win streak without Jaren Jackson. I don't think the defense is going to be good enough. Hopefully they can jump to 6-3 against the Wizards, who are coming up on, I think, their next game. And then they have the Celtics at home, which is going to be a tough game without Jaren Jackson. But the Grizzlies should have a chance to win that game. I really am looking forward to that game to see how they match up with one of the 2 teams in the league that I think are going to be difficult for them to beat in the playoffs. But if we face them in the playoffs, hey, that means we're in the NBA Finals, so who cares at that point? So let's look at how this game went. This game, like I said, was really about Dillon Brooks came out a house on fire in the first quarter and the first half altogether, but the first quarter especially, hitting threes and everything. He had a real good game. Was the Grizzlies' leading scorer last night. Even had the walk-off interview with his beautiful daughter. It was a wonderful thing, and it's good to see Dillon Brooks playing with a smile on his face, happy, back to his same aggressive self that he was a couple of seasons ago when we first went to the playoffs with this group and we faced the Jazz. And he had that great playoff series with the Jazz. I think the injuries have had him to the point where he has not been himself until this point. Also, he had a quote last night that Parker Fleming put out on Twitter about how he's advancing in his new role on his team, playing off of Ja Morant and Desmond Bane, and that was good to hear because you remember the thing was that he was considering himself part of the big 3 with Jaren and Ja Morant, and he was acting accordingly, and it's good to see in the last few games Dillon seems to be getting it. Seems to be getting to be the opportunistic scorer, aggressive defender that the Grizzlies need on the perimeter, and when Jaren gets back, his partner in crime gets back to watch his back when guys get past him, when he's being aggressive, and to eliminate all mistakes at the rim. this team is going to really take off. But we've always said that Dillon Brooks, the spot-up shooter, is a very good shooter. Dillon Brooks, the movement shooter, is not so great, especially when it's off the dribble and all that. But Dillon Brooks had 23 points last night, 8 of 12 from the field, 6 of 7 from the three-point line, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, only 1 turnover. He had it in 22 minutes. Now, you got to remember, the guys didn't play but half the game because it was a blowout. Ja Morant still has not found his touch again since he's been back from the flu. 4-12 from the field, 11 assists though. He had his passing touches there, 5 turnovers, 4 rebounds, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Desmond Bane was 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 7 from the three-point line. Most of that, his damage was done in the second half. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. Santi Aldama had a good game, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, a steal, an assist, 2 of 5 from the three-point line, 5 of 9 from the field. And the man of the match was Steven Adams, once again, who dominated the interior in the first half like no other. Set the Grizzlies record for first half for rebounds in one half, I think with 16 in the first half. Ended the game with 19, well off of the 23 that Lorenzen Wright, rest in peace, set for the Memphis Grizzlies. But, you know, he only played 22 minutes. So he had 13 points, 19 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 6 of 10 from the field, 1 or 2 from the free throw line. Steven Adams has been so much more active the more they encourage him to score. It is the psychological phenomenon of the big man that when you get him some early buckets, they get special during the game. And Steven Adams is no different. The last few games, he's had some blocks that I didn't see at all last year, where he's going up and knocking shots out of the air. Very good game. Brandon Clark had a good game, 4 of 7 from the field, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 13 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 blocks. Jake LaRavia returned to the lineup, and it looked like he didn't get sat out the last game. He was still recovering from his flu, so they wanted to give him an extra day of rest. I heard that on Eric Hasseltine saying that on the radio, that he was still looking a little bit, you know, he wasn't totally over his flu, unlike Ja, who got over his a little bit earlier. Tyus Jones had a good game. The floaters start to fall. 5 of 8 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 3 assists, no turnovers, of course, 11 points. David Roddy, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from the three-point line, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, plus 12, 11 points. It was just a good game all around. John Contra had a vicious dunk on the alley-oop. Crazy, jumping, jitty. Had the dunk on the alley-oop. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 or 3 from the three-point line. His shot is still falling. It was just a good game all around for the team. Hopefully we can follow it up with another win against the Washington Wizards on the next game. Everybody on the bench got to play except Kenny Lofton. I think that's because he's got the hustle games coming up, so that's whole nother thing. But yeah, like I said, a good palate cleanser from the long road trip. The Grizzlies need to take care of business against these Eastern Conference teams, rack up the wins against them as much as possible, because later on in the season, when these Western Conference teams have to travel, and when the Grizzlies have to travel to these Eastern Conference teams, it's going to be a different story. We don't know what condition the Grizzlies are going to be in, what condition these other teams are going to be in. It's good to bank these wins early in the season, especially with Jaren out. Bank as many wins early in the season. I do not want the Phoenix Suns to get away from us, and I was so happy that the Portland Trail Blazers beat them last night, and the Grizzlies still have a chance to have the home court advantage throughout the Western Conference playoffs. We got to keep our eyes at the top of the Western Conference standings. So until tomorrow, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.